Here we go, round 2, the semifinals of the Christmas movie showdown. The last video was super long, so out of mercy, I'm gonna get to the point. Quick little preamble, my new, how I'll now weigh my decisions starting with this round is the new criteria is humor, Christmas spirit, and overall quality, which means that, so humor, obviously, it's just like the humor of the movie. Christmas spirit is like, how, like, it's kind of more biased, how I get into, like, how much the movie gets me into the Christmas spirit. Overall quality, if you've seen any of my, movie review videos, which I highly recommend you check out, you'll see, that's a common concept that I incorporate into my videos is overall quality, like, cinematography score. I just kind of bunch that into one category. Starting with the first matchup, Home Alone versus How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And the first discussion point is humor for this one. Really, all these movies have a certain degree of slapstick humor, like all of them. With the Grinch, it's kind of more absurdist, you know, like especially with the scene where he's got his head in between like the monkey symbols. That's, you know, very absurd and hilarious. While Home Alone has a bit more relatable humor. Both movies, like I said, have lots of physical jokes and gags, of which Home Alone would probably win on. But the Grinch has funnier dialogue, in my opinion, than Home Alone. I think what it comes down to is really how well each movie uses the cast to create something funny. For The Grinch, Jim Carrey literally plays the main character, so there's bound to be tons of funny moments throughout the entire movie. In Home Alone, the only real comedians in it were Catherine O'Hara and John Candy, and O'Hara was more of a serious, uptight, and stressed out role, whereas Candy has a small part near the end, and sometimes I forget he's even in the movie. For the humor category, I give my vote to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. In the spirit, this category is difficult because both movies are very different from each other. The common denominator, however, is that both movies are a lot more subtle with Christmas, with how Christmas is sort of in the background in Home Alone, and how The Grinch takes place in a fictional land with fictional creatures celebrating Christmas. Even though there's much more Yuletide iconography in The Grinch than Home Alone, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't get me in the mood for Christmas as much as whatever things in Home Alone or the other movies would. The idea of having a family over for the holidays and just the more human-like realistic setting of Home Alone make me feel more warm when it comes to the idea of Christmas. So for that reason, I voted Home Alone on the Christmas spirit category. For overall quality, this is also really hard. Technically, The Grinch has a musical number, but there's only one song, and it's, you know, it's sort of meh. It's just okay. And there aren't any other numbers, so I won't really call it a musical. Home Alone doesn't have any musical numbers, period, but the film score is one of the best in any Christmas movie I've ever seen. Probably the best musical score of any of the 5 movies that are even competing. So Home Alone does have points for the soundtrack. Although Home Alone has a great set design, using lots of places, and it uses lots of places in the same area outside of Chicago to film it, which is really neat. The Grinch's set truly is revolutionary, taking us to a place we never thought we'd be able to see in live action. The costuming and makeup is also much better too. Except it's unfair to mention that considering Home Alone is a movie taking place in real life with normal-looking humans, they weren't really, you know, they didn't have an obligation to step it up with the makeup, whereas The Grinch did. The deciding factor for the overall quality, though, is cinematography. And although there are great examples of cinematography from The Grinch, I can't in good conscience not vote for Home Alone. Lots of the scenes in Home Alone are shot amazingly. Think about how the scene where they're running through the airport brilliantly captures the stress of being late to board a plane. The chase scene where Kevin is running from the cop after shoplifting, you know, the scene where the scene on the ice rink, or when he's setting up the booby traps, all of those scenes are awesome and so fun to watch every year. The scenes where Kevin is, inside and outside, but near the church, like inside the church, but also like outside and near the church, are some of the best and most beautiful shots in Christmas movie history. But not just that, Home Alone demonstrated how to improvise shots that are almost impossible to get, you'd think. Think of that scene when Harry and Marv almost hit Kevin with their van. They couldn't get a shot of the van coming into an abrupt stop right in front of Kevin's nose without accidentally running over Macaulay Culkin. So they started with Harry and Marv parked at the end of the street in front of Kevin, then had them put it in reverse and drive backwards. In post-production, they just played the shot backwards, and voila, the scene looked just the way it is whenever you watch the movie. By a vote of 2-1, my decision in the movie moving on to the final round is Home Alone. Now moving on to the second and final round in the semifinals, we got Christmas Vacation versus Elf. Starting with humor, you know, if I could, I would vote for a tie in this category. How can you tell what of these movies is funnier? You can't really. They're almost equally quotable and funny in their own way. Elf is funny because it's a comedy about a clueless person, like I've said so many times, a fish out of water. And it's funny to watch him adapt to the real world. Elf is cut from the same breed as movies like Mr. Bean, The Naked Gun, and Austin Powers. All of these movies feature silly people doing what they're meant to do, juxtaposed with much more sane side characters. But the thing about Elf is that even some funny scenes have more powerful emotion attached to them. You know, that makes you just say, yes! Christmas Vacation, it's relatable. It's funny because it's true. To quote Bob the Tomato, what happened to it's funny because it's true? The fact of the matter is, Will Ferrell and Chevy Chase are both excellent at physical comedy. So for me, the best way to decide the winner of this category is to think about which movie has the better, funnier physical comedy. It's no secret that both movies have tons of slapstick humor, and when you watch Elf, you laugh at the stupid things he does because you're watching someone unaware of human culture try to fit in and fail miserably. When you see that, you're on the outside looking in. You, as a human raised by humans, laugh because your situation is different than that of a human raised by elves. If you were a human raised by elves, you might not find this movie funny at all. When you laugh at Christmas Vacation, once again, the physical comedy is relatable. I laugh at Christmas Vacation with the mindset of, oh my gosh, that's so true, instead of, oh my gosh, look at what stupid thing he's doing again. I'm not saying unrelatable humor isn't good at times, but in this case, the humor in Christmas Vacation is much more natural and just as funny. So I voted for Christmas Vacation for the humor category. For the Christmas spirit category, for this matchup, it comes down to the implementation of Christmas for me. Most of the North Pole scenes in Elf are very Christmassy, but they're at the beginning, and the idea of Christmas doesn't seem as pushed throughout the movie as Christmas Vacation is. With the plotline of hosting Christmas dinner, Christmas Vacation has to feel like a Christmas movie the entire time, whereas Elf takes some time in the middle to focus on Buddy's social transformation, putting a spotlight on Buddy finally finding somewhat of a place in society. So it kind of takes a little bit of a shift away from Christmas to more focus on Buddy, and I think that's where the implementation of Christmas goes wrong. And with Christmas Vacation, it's Christmas through and through consistently. Christmas Vacation just conveys the Christmas spirit better for me, for both objective and personal opinions, and because of that, I vote for Christmas Vacation for Christmas spirit. By this point, Christmas Vacation has already won, because I voted for Christmas Vacation for both humor and Christmas spirit, but I'll still touch on overall quality for fun. The soundtracks and scores are about even in my eyes. The set design and costuming for Elf is a bit better than Christmas Vacation, I'd say, but the visual effects and cinematography for Christmas Vacation are also a bit better. So, like I said, it's a toss-up. I guess I really love the opening song to Christmas Vacation. That pushes a bit over the edge for me to vote for Christmas Vacation for overall quality. So I guess I'd vote Christmas Vacation for that, making it a clean sweep. So now we've got our two finalists, Home Alone and Christmas Vacation, and I'm pretty pumped. We got a while off from Christmas. I think I've decided that I'm not going to upload the final video, like the final showdown video, until Christmas Eve, probably. I don't know if that means I'm gonna wait until next week or so to even make the video. I probably will start at the very least soon working on a script for that video. It's been kind of hectic. I had troubles uploading the first video. It was a really long video. That's probably why. Hopefully I won't have any problems getting this video sent out either. But if so, I have time, especially considering now that I've decided to release the final video in this 3-part series on Christmas Eve. And I think that might be the last video I make in 2020. I mean, there'll only be like a week left in the year. I don't know what videos I would make after that. I think I wrote a script for a video about Hamilton, but I don't know if I'm gonna plan on putting that out anymore this year. I might wait. That might be the season 3 premiere. Whenever I do finish, whenever I do wrap up this season of my channel, make sure to check out the channel playlists, because I have all my videos from season 1 and season 2 in their respective playlists, and I sort it by year. So all my season 1 videos were the ones I made in 2019. All the season 2 videos are going to be the ones made in 2020. And then, of course, season 3 will begin in probably January of 2021. I'm hoping to get a video out there by January. I don't think it'll be until February. I think I'll find some video to make by then. Don't worry. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.